back to the channel. Welcome to an Ascension Relationships Energy Update. I decided to do this reading, it's a higher level reading, rather than the Sacred Union Energy Update today, because we had the new moon in Pisces yesterday. We're still in that energy. We have the 3-3 portal today, and it feels like the month of March as a whole is just full of Ascension energy, full of magic, full of growth, full of expansion. If you're a Patreon subscriber, or if you want to be a Patreon subscriber, check out the monthly channeling that I do for $5.55. You'll have access to the previous channelings as well. And those of you who are in the higher tiers, I will have those readings posted starting next week. Pick-up piles and the specific scenario readings, and the bonus readings, we'll have those next week. So we have a powerful month in March. We also did a sacred channeling over on Susan Dawn Ascension Connections. And if you missed it, I posted a collective message from that channeling here on Susan Dawn Spiritual Connection. So make sure that you're subscribed over on my sister channel as well so that you're not missing anything. Because even on my sister channel, even though it's higher level ascension energies, we still talk about sacred partners, we talk about ascension, we talk about the energies as a whole. And in the channeling, we talked about the power of the new moon in Pisces and how we really are manifesting for this new beginning. We had talked about the in-between time that we had been in, that transition energy, and how we're moving out of that transition energy, and really this month manifesting and creating the new reality, and how we're going to begin seeing that new reality manifest here in March. Still might be a little bit of surrender energy, still might be a little bit of a slow start, but towards the end of March, it's really going to pick up. So I really encourage you guys to check out that sacred channeling. Very powerful, very beautiful messages. But let's get into how that's affecting the divine masculine and the divine feminine on their ascension journey. And we will come through possibly even tomorrow or over the weekend with some mini readings as well to bring it down to a more physical level. Make sure that you are following me on Instagram specifically, because I do a lot of exclusive readings over on Instagram. That is kind of like the number one platform for me, but I try to cross post to the community tab here and over on Facebook whenever I can. But do make sure that if you have an Instagram account that you're following me there, because I post a lot of content and a lot of bonus readings there as well. All right, I decided to start this reading, interesting energies, I'm not quite sure what's going on, with the Oracle Visions deck by Chiro Marchetti. And I'm choosing this one because the deck, as you can see, doesn't have any words. I want to go by the pictures. I want to go by the vibrations. I want to just do some direct channeling, I think, and see what comes through. I really feel like everything we've been channeling for the month of March, I really feel, and I'm going to, the reading that I did over on Instagram, I think I had cross-posted it to Facebook as well. I want to share a little bit about that. It was the new moon reading, and it talked about how we're connecting to ourselves like never before, how rather than remaining introspective, this month is really pushing us into action. March is really pushing us into action, especially since Aries is to follow. So towards the tail end of March, moving into April, is Aries season. That is the first, depending on what astrology you follow, that is the first sign of the zodiac. It is very strong. It is very much fire energy. It is very much just go-getter energy, just movement, momentum, and that's what we've been picking up on. Actually, that's what we've been picking up on the past couple of weeks, and that energy is really here and anchored in now. What we've been doing is we've been getting into energetic alignment for our physical manifestations, to actually see the physical manifestations, and that's here. Like I said, it might be a little bit subtle at first, especially when it comes to your connection. Communication might be a little bit slow, it might be a little bit subtle, it might be a little bit little by little is what they're saying, like step by step. But it's going to pick up momentum. It's almost like it has that ripple effect, that snowball effect. So this isn't just connection. This is about all your desires. You're calling in your desires through releasing what just no longer fits that frequency anymore. Whatever that is, if that's jobs, projects, relationships, home life, You're just releasing more of that old energy, and that's what this has been about. That's what this transition period, this in between time, has been about. It's been about releasing the old versions of you because that old version of you has expired. And so you can hold on to it and cling to it, or you can embrace the new. And so, really do check out that collective message or the sacred channeling. I encourage you to check out both because we really dove deep into that energy. Beautiful messages coming through, beautiful teachings coming through on that. So, the end of major cycles are here now, in this present moment, whenever you are watching this, in this moment, here and now. Cycles have ended, are ending, and you are stepping into the new. And we talked too about how sometimes when cycles end, we hear the word ending, or we hear closure, or we hear something new, and we go into that energy of fear. But allow yourself to transmute that fear by bringing yourself back to the present moment and knowing that what is to come is better than what you are leaving behind. Always. Always. It might not always feel it. You might not always understand the way things unfold for that change. But as long as you're doing the work, as long as you are healing, expanding, and growing, then what is to come is always better than what you're leaving behind. It's just having that courage and having that strength to leave that old energy behind. So, this new moon, we've been asked to clarify what it is that we want. Not so much what it is that we don't want, but what is it that we want to manifest? What seeds have we been planting in this new energy? What is it that we really want to really be specific? And the spread that I had pulled, I don't know if it's going to allow you to see this. Oh, there we go. So you see the puppies there? I used the dog tarot, and it was the puppy that was holding the stick that really caught my attention. And it's the Page of Wands, and it was this youthful, excited, just wanting to grab the wand and play. That's the anticipation energy that we had been feeling previously. We had felt the sense of excitement, but it wasn't showing up in the physical. We could feel it energetically. It was like in our vortex. It was like right there, almost like we could touch it if we reached out, but we couldn't quite get there. We couldn't quite grasp it. And that was only because we were still getting into energetic alignment, clearing out the old, embracing the new. We were still balancing out ourselves. Well, now it's here. Now it's here. Everything that you had been feeling is here. You're going to start seeing that visibly in your physical world, as evidence in your physical world for the new energy that you're in. So, this is the energy that the universe wants you in, is what they said. Not fear of the future or uncertainty of what's to come, but a youthful anticipation and joy. It might take some shifting of perspectives, it might take some changing of mindsets, but once you surrender and release these old energies, that bright future you've been creating is here to unfold. So I did want to, because they brought it to me, I did want to mention that specific reading because that's the energy that they want you to be in, especially when we talk about these sacred partnerships, especially if you have been through so much with your sacred partner, either energetically or physically. You've been ascension partners together, you've been journeying together, you've been doing a lot of healing and clearing together, and that brings up a lot of stuff for you to heal. So the journey has been difficult together. There's still a lot of love. The undercurrent of love is always there for these sacred partners, but the journey itself had been very difficult, tension-filled, trigger-filled. It doesn't underestimate the love, but that's what the past cycle of your journey had been, because you were ascending, because you were clearing out all the pain patterns, all the trauma, not from you two necessarily, but from childhood, from past lifetimes that you experienced together, or just single-handedly. You were clearing pain patterns of abandonment, rejection, wounding that you experienced in your life. Again, not necessarily with each other, but that had been experienced. And when you meet your sacred partner, when you meet your twin flame, whatever it is that you want to call it, what happens is it activates you both, it triggers you both to clear all the patterns so that you come back to the place of love, which is the truth. Love is truth. And so what's happened is you have ended that cycle. That phase of your journey. Again, Journey's End, a powerful channeling that we did over on Susan Dawn Ascension Connections around this time last year, where there was one part of your journey, that healing aspect that was coming to a close, and now you're moving into higher heart ascension, where you're just embodying the growth and the expansion and the love that you have ascended into. So that healing, that active healing, all the triggers and stuff, not to say that you won't trigger each other, not to say that you won't experience obstacles, not to say that you won't experience challenges, but you're going to confront it. You're going to handle it from a higher place, from a higher consciousness, from a different perspective because of the growth that you've experienced. So that time of, it's almost like you can look back at your journey and you can see how you personally have transformed. You can see, yes, that's where I was in the matrix. That's where I was tied to old templates of relationship. That's where I was tied to codependency. That's where I was tied to pain. That's where I was tied to my trauma of the past. That's where I was repeating cycles and karma. You can see that. You can see that because now you're in a different perspective. Because now maybe you cleared old beliefs, and the beliefs that you have to do things in a certain timeline for your life, or that you have to do things according to society. Whatever this is, it's all encompassing. There's so much that you have healed on this journey, and now that you're in a higher consciousness and from a new perspective, you can see that. And you can also see, hey, yes, I was in a really distorted energy back then, and so I needed to heal in a different way. Well, now you're still healing. You're going to always be healing and clearing and doing all that stuff, but it's more natural, it's more organic. It's just living now. It's transmutation, it's alchemy. It's natural. It is who you are as soul. Yes, you were doing all that active stuff before, you were journaling and you were meditating, but now it's just part of who you are. That was what you needed to get to where you are now. And so apply that to your connection as now. To your connection as well now. Look at it from that different perspective. You had been healing so much on your journey, and you're going to continue to do that because love is healing. And what they're saying is it's not so much healing anymore, it's remembering. You're stepping into a new energy of remembering your power, remembering your magic, remembering your divinity, remembering the love together. That's higher heart ascension. And so on the physical plane, if you still experience challenges and obstacles and trials, you're going to be doing it, healing it from a different place now, working together in partnership, in harmony, in peace. So that's almost like the before and the after of the journey, that the different cycles of the journey. You really ended one phase, and that phase of the journey, that cycle of the journey may have lasted years. But because of your work, because of your ascension, you have transformed into this higher consciousness, shifted into this higher consciousness. And so now you're doing it from a place of love. It's a new phase of your journey, and that is here now. And you're going to see evidence of that within yourself and your own life, and you're going to see that within your connection as well. Okay, I have talked a lot about that over on Susan on Ascension Connections. I know I keep directing you guys over there, but if you're resonating with it and you want to go a little bit deeper, I have taught a lot about that over there in their sacred channeling. So make sure that you are checking those out. Don't bypass that because it's this depth. It's this kind of depth and this kind of acknowledgement of the journey that we've talked about in the past. I just don't want to go into it more than I already have. All right, let's see what is going on for the Divine Masculine, please. What's going on for the Divine Masculine, please? I do want to say this too because it's being brought to my attention by Spirit. It has always been in my awareness that when I'm doing these spreads, it's very interesting. When I'm doing these spreads, it might look a little bit different on the screen, but the masculine for me has always been on the left side. The feminine for me has always been on the right side. And what they're saying is that's actually not without purpose for you, Susan, because the masculine is really the right-sided energy. If you're thinking about the brain, if you're thinking about the body, if you're thinking about the energy field, it's the right side. The feminine is really on the left side. She is the receiver. The masculine is the leader and the giver in a sense. But it's interesting that I've always made the masculine on the left side, the feminine on the right side, because that is that merged energy they're saying. And it's interesting that they never brought that to me before now, because I do feel like there is a merged energy that has truly occurred, that has truly happened, that union energy. And it's almost like they're saying it's oneness. It is that oneness. So the masculine had been healing the feminine energy. They had been in the space of the feminine energy and healing. The feminine had been healing the masculine energy. They had been in the space of the masculine and healing that energy. And again, I talk a lot about that in previous readings and the sacred channeling, so I'm not going to go into detail, but they did bring that to me. So I feel like that's really appropriate as an example, as a metaphor for the space that divine masculine and divine feminine have been healing in order to come into their union. In the past, divine masculine had really been healing their own masculine, had really been healing, feminines had really been healing their own feminine energy, and you're healing all at the same time. It's not, there might be one focus, you know, during one timeline and then another focus during another phase of your life, or your journey, but you're really healing it all at the same time because it is oneness, it is one. But what they're saying is this is that union energy, this is that wholeness. And so in this past few months, the masculine really had been rising in their feminine energy. Feminine had really been grounding in their masculine energy, and that's the union that is coming in. That's the wholeness that is coming in. So they brought that to me, so I wanted to share that message as well. It just seemed very interesting to me. Okay, masculine. Okay. And feminine. And the union. Oh my gosh. And the union, please. Union. That's amazing. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I'm going to take the bottom of the deck as well for a quick message because I'm being called to it. What they're calling me to is this. You see, it's like the ape. It's evolution is what they're showing us, evolution. And what I'm hearing is this is your ascension. This is your spiritual evolution. This is your soul's evolution. This might be it physically, as depicted physically, but this truly is the evolution of the spirit where you were tied down, you were dragged down, and now you are standing full and upright in your power, in your strength, in your divinity. So really interesting message. We might come back to that. What I'm getting for the divine masculine and actually for the divine feminine is coming out of a period of darkness, and that feels like the new beginning that is taking place here. They're showing me the rainbow, and that is the new rainbow grid. And coming out of the darkness, coming into the light. Coming out of the shadows, coming into the light. Stepping out of the false matrix and into that rainbow matrix. So with the divine masculine, and it's interesting because I feel like I'm taking all these cards as one for both counterparts, but I really feel like with the wolf behind, I really feel like they are stepping out of the woods, stepping out of the darkness, stepping out of their shadows, having healed and gone so deep within their own shadows. I do feel like the masculine is in a little bit of a hermit energy right now, but there's light that is shining on them, and they're feeling that light. This energy, the new moon, the Mars-Venus conjunction that we experienced, the full moon in the last month as well, all this cosmic energy I feel had been a little bit difficult for the divine masculines, and not difficult as in necessarily heavy. When I say dark night of the soul, it doesn't feel like they were plunged into like the underworld or anything like that as they had been in the past. This feels more like just hearing the words life review. Like they're really going over their life and seeing where their own distortions and their own toxic energy had played a role in the creation of their life. So they've really been clearing out a lot within themselves through acknowledgement, through accountability. And I feel like now they're really feeling supported. Their crown chakra has opened, their heart chakra has opened. They're really feeling supported. They're really feeling loved and allowing themselves to receive that love. Again, that feminine energy that is being balanced and rising within them. And the more the feminine energy rises within them, the more they can step into their masculine power and take the lead and be direct and be clear and take authority for themselves. The more the feminine steps into her masculine power, or energy, wherein she is able to ground, where she is able to feel stable and secure within herself, where she is not codependent on anybody. The more she's able to be in her own masculine energy, the more that she's able to rise in her own feminine energy, because she's feeling safe and secure in her own masculine. She's feeling like, okay, my masculine energy is taking the lead. My masculine energy is clear, is concise, isn't flighty, is consistent. So the more she heals her masculine, the more her feminine rises, because she can, for lack of a better word, submit to her masculine. She wants her masculine to be powerful. She wants her masculine to take the lead. She wants her masculine to step up and protect her. She wants that energy. And so that's how it plays out in your connection as well. It's not submissive in a codependent way, it's allowing the masculine energy to take the lead. And in your connection, in your relationship, you'll both be the feminine and the masculine energy in given moments. You know, sometimes if you're the feminine, you'll need to be in the masculine energy for your business, for your home life, for whatever it is. That's union within the self, and that then portrays in your connection in a beautiful balance. Sometimes the, you know, masculine is going to submit or surrender to the feminine. So it all plays out as within, so without. So the more you balance out those energies within yourself, the more it plays out in your connection in a healthy way. So when I say submissive, I do not mean rolling over. I do not mean not standing your ground. I do not mean having unhealthy boundaries or codependency. I mean surrender. I mean acceptance. I mean allowing. And that's what the divine feminine truly wants from her masculine. And that plays out in a beautiful connection. And that this is the portrayal of that. It's my favorite card in tarot. I say that all the time, but the masculine lifts the feminine up. That is his role. His role is to protect. His role is to lift her up, maintain that stability, maintain that security. That's why that flighty in and out behavior was such a distortion. That lack of communication, that lack of consistency, because he wasn't secure in his own masculine energy. And divine feminine wasn't secure enough in her own masculine energy that she allowed it. And so the more she's stable in her masculine energy, the more that's going to be reflected in her outer masculine. Same with the feminine energy. The more he's rising in his feminine energy, allowing himself to receive, allowing himself to go with the flow of things and not control, the more you're releasing those same qualities and stepping into your self-empowerment. So do you see the mirror that's going on? I know it's a little bit convoluted. My channeling's a little bit tired today, but I talk about this quite a bit in previous readings, so make sure that you're checking them out. So I feel like the masculine energy is really just embracing that light and embracing the light inside of himself. He's really balancing out himself, coming into union with himself, coming into that wholeness and harmony with his own inner energies, stepping out of the darkness and finding his power and finding his strength. And it's also, I'm hearing, is integrating the shadows. So he's not shaming himself, he's not criticizing himself, he's not feeling guilty. He's integrating that. So he says, okay, I recognize that this is who I was, and this is the distortion I was in, or this is the energy that I was in, or the behavior that I did. I can make a different choice. I don't have to be that same person. I don't have to be in that same energy. It's integrating through acknowledgement and then making choices for a healthier version. That's where the divine masculine really is right now. And I was channeling earlier, I'm not so much getting it now, but they're reminding me that I was channeling earlier that there's a sense of excitement for the divine masculines. I feel like they're a little bit in introspection right now. Again, that hermit energy coming through. So they might be a little bit nervous as far as how is this going to actually play out in my physical reality? What is this actually going to look like? When I have that chance, when I'm making these decisions, when I am choosing new choices, when I'm choosing differently. But there's a sense of excitement there too, because this is a brand new energy. And when they look back, they're like, I can't believe I was in that old energy. I don't like the person that I was. Or at least I can't believe that was the person that I was. I want better for myself. This is a brand new energy, and it's exciting for them because they're seeing the possibilities, and they want and have always wanted that better life for themselves, but now they know how to get it because now they have the tools. Divine Feminine over here, this is a beautiful energy. Number one, this very much reminds me of the High Priestess energy with all that purple here. Very connected through the crown chakra. She is just very connected to her higher self, very connected to God's source, to her spirit team, to the universe. Even to her divine masculine through those energies, through those outlets. Because remember, it's, that Trinity energy, divine feminine, divine masculine energy, and God's source as one. And I feel like you see how she's holding the final puzzle pieces? She's coming into her self empowerment. She's already there. She's embodying this authenticity, this empowerment, having called back all these fragmented aspects of herself. She's got this. This is her and her power. She's saying, you know what? Those pieces of myself aren't scattered anymore. I am calling it all back. I am embracing this energy. I'm embracing my divinity. I am embracing my magic. I'm embracing my higher self. I'm calling this all in. I am whole. I am whole. And it doesn't feel like I'm becoming whole. It feels like I am. That affirmation, I am. I am whole. I am divine. I am who I am. So it's just really beautiful. She has all the pieces here. And she's in control of herself, which is even more beautiful. It's such a beautiful energy. She's in control of herself. She's not giving pieces of herself away to others. She's not sacrificing herself for others. She's in control of her energy. She's in control of herself. She's in control of this. And it's not control in a manipulative way, in a forceful way. This is that divine control. This is self-empowerment. So it's not so much control. Control is a word that can get kind of convoluted. What I mean is self-empowerment. She's in control of herself. Really beautiful energy here. And for the union, again, it's just that rainbow, that door's open, that rainbow matrix is here. And I feel like both of you are really walking towards that new energy. All right, let's get some more cards. I'm going to use the activation cards. All right. Divine masculine, please. Divine feminine. And the union between them. The union energies between them. Alchemy. That's exactly what we were talking about. This is that natural energy, that natural healing that is just occurring now in harmony with one another. Okay, we're going to start with the divine masculine. So we have the card fertility. It says the frequency of fertility invites us to be more open, more courageous, more creative, and more joyful than we were before. It activates the potential for something beautiful to grow from our consciousness into a new and grander expression of ourselves. This is that growth and expansion that the divine masculine is going through. This is the energy of shifting into that higher frequency, that higher consciousness, not only shifting into the energy, but embodying it, grounding it, being it. And that's what they're really moving into. That's the process that they have been going through. They're really grounding that energy now and saying, you know what, this is what I want for my life. My actual physical experience here, this is what I want for my life. I want to embody who I know I am without the distortions, without the behaviors that I had clung to in the past, without the pain patterns and programming I had clung to in the past, without the beliefs that I had clung to in the past. And they are really moving into this energy of, I'm just getting rebirth energy here with this fertility card. It's rebirth. This is a rebirth for the divine masculine. And the fertility energy is giving me Empress energy, which is that mother energy, that birthing energy. It's the divine feminine energy. She is the mother. She's the nurturing, caring, compassion. She is compassion. She is one who gives birth to new creations. It's their own inner feminine, their own inner empress to match their emperor, to match their masculine inside of themselves. This is union within themselves that they are really stepping into and embracing and embodying. So this is rebirth for the divine masculine. They are really grounding this rebirth energy here. For the divine feminine, we have that open heart chakra. We have the word compassion. And I feel like she is really allowing herself to step into this new and higher energy where she is having compassion for her masculine, really recognizing and seeing the change and transformation that he has gone through. And not only that, but the process that he has gone through, recognizing that her process may have been a little bit different. And she can see that now. She can see that it wasn't the same as what her divine masculine had gone through. You both have ascended the mountain from different sides, from different aspects, but you've been ascending the same mountain and you've been doing it together. It just looks a little bit different, and that had been part of what was very challenging for the divine feminine, but now she's in a state of compassion and open-heartedness. This says the frequency of compassion supports our ability to stand by others without judgment and be the divine mediator between heaven and earth, spirit and matter, so that unconditional love can flow from source through our heart and into the world. This is her embodying everything that she is. This is her embodying that open heart and that love. And part of her journey has been clearing the guard around her heart, that protective energy around her heart, because she didn't trust masculine energy. She didn't trust masculine energy to be supportive, to be caring, to be nurturing, to be protective, to be consistent. She didn't, and stable. She didn't trust that divine masculine energy. And so now that she's finding that stability within herself, that is opening her up, and she's going to start seeing that in her, to match her, that energy within herself in her divine counterpart. And that's actually what's happening. That's that grounding, that's that rebirth energy that's happening for the divine masculine, becoming the divine masculine. And then with the card alchemy, we have the frequency of alchemy activates our magical ability and remembrance of the magic that we all hold inside. Each one of us has the potential to access the ancient knowledge that allowed the true alchemists to perform miracles of transmutation. Remember when in the very beginning we were talking about how this journey is moving into higher heart ascension, where it is natural transmutation, natural alchemy. That's what's happening. Because you're in a higher state of love and a higher state of consciousness, you are just naturally alchemizing anything that is not aligned to the frequency of love. And when two counterparts come together in that peace, in that harmony, in that love, it is such a powerful effect. And it has a ripple effect on the whole world, on the whole universe. We channeled that 3 years ago, where it was a cosmic effect. A cosmic effect of alchemizing anything that is not in the vibration of love. That's higher heart ascension. We're entering into that energy right now. Okay, this feels, wow. All right, divine masculine. God of conflict resolution. Divine feminine. Divine feminine, please. Divine feminine. Let's get a card for the divine feminine. I'm already channeling for the divine masculine, so I'm wondering if I should pause and let's just get a card. Let's just get one card. Divine feminine and the union energy. Let's get the cards first. Get the cards first. Okay. I'm going to start with the divine masculine again because that's what's strongest right now. This God of conflict resolution, you're being encouraged to walk away from a current conflict, really just feels like they're walking away from the old versions of themselves that lived in conflict, that almost thrived on the drama or thrived on the pain patterns because that is what they knew. And so that's an old version of themselves that was repeating pain patterns, that was repeating trauma, that was repeating drama. And so that's the newness and the excitement that they're feeling now. Oh, I don't have to live like that. I can live in peace. I can live in harmony. I can live in love. And I can acknowledge all of those things reside within myself. That I am all of those things. That I am love. They were repeating the trauma and the pain patterns and the drama because that was all they knew. And so now it's like they're seeing a different way of being, a different way of living. This is their own higher heart awakening. And so you see that little star that's in their heart? Yeah, that's their own higher heart awakening. And so they really are moving away from the old version of themselves that lived in that conflict, that lived in that chaos. Even if it was just in their mind, whatever chaos or conflict was in their mind, it displayed itself in the outside world. So their outside world was chaos and conflict in a number of different scenarios, a number of different ways. It's going to apply to everybody a little bit different. But it was because there was chaos and conflict within their own mind. Because as within, so without. And so now that they're feeling peace within themselves and coming home to their true self, which is peaceful, which is harmonious, which is love, the more they're going to see that in their physical outside world. Over here for the Divine Feminine, we have Angel of Communication. And I feel like this is just her stepping more into her strength and more into her power and not being afraid to hold herself back. What I'm feeling is, especially for feminine energy, years and years and years and centuries of persecution, prosecution, and punishment for being her true authentic self, for being who she is, for embodying the divine feminine energy. Centuries. The divine feminine had been persecuted for who she is and the wisdom that she holds within herself. But no longer, through this ascension journey, she is speaking up. She is expressing herself. She is sharing her love. She is sharing her heart. She is sharing her wisdom and her emotion. She's not holding herself back anymore. This is an energy of self-empowerment, and look at the strength that is coming from her. She is standing there and she is saying, I am divine feminine. I will express myself. I will communicate clearly, concisely, directly. I will not hold myself back. That is strength in and of itself. And so I feel like this is just more energy of self-empowerment for the divine feminine. I'm hearing a reminder. So if you feel like you're abandoning yourself, if you feel like you're betraying yourself by holding yourself back in expressing yourself, then this is your reminder of who you truly are, and to allow yourself with compassion, with grace, to always express the highest version of yourself, to always speak from the heart space. In the union energies, we have the goddess of justice and we have the goddess of beauty. And I feel like, you see all the butterflies here, I really feel like this is that transformation, and justice, balance, wholeness is coming into your connection. Where there was imbalance before, there is now justice being served for that imbalance is being cleared. There's more reciprocity that's coming in. There's more, however it's going to display itself in your connection. It's going to be a little bit different for everybody, but it is going to be more consistent. It's going to be more communicative. It's going to be more expressive. Whatever was lacking, justice is being done and bringing forth a balance of abundance, a balance of beauty. Because this connection naturally is divine. This connection naturally is beautiful, harmonious, and peaceful, and incredibly loving. It is the ultimate energy of unconditional love because it is a reflection of God's source energy for all of us. These divine connections, these sacred partnerships, are unity consciousness in and of itself. That's what union is all about. It's showing us what unity consciousness truly is, recognizing that we are all connected. And so with these, bringing it back to these sacred partnerships, this connection is just inspiring and beautiful. And that's why it was a little bit overwhelming when you guys met, because it was that unconditional love. It was that beauty. It was that harmony. It was that peace that is a reflection of God's source. So it was a little bit overwhelming to the system that has been really held down in the matrix and old templates, not used to that. But that's what you've been clearing and healing on this journey. And so because you've been working on this, because there has been such a healing and cycles being closed and just transmutation and alchemy and all that stuff. Because you have been healing, because you have been ascending, balance, justice, clarity, truth is coming in, and you're going to see just an evening of the scales where it was like topsy-turvy and like a juggling. It's just going to be neutral, peaceful, harmonious, and beautiful in that light. Okay, I'm going to end with the love cards. So I forget what they're called, the love oracle. We have the divine feminine. We have chivalry. Oh my gosh. Where did that go? Let's get one more card. We're going to read them as one. One more card, please, Spirit. Final message. Oh my gosh, you guys. Oh my gosh. The divine feminine and the divine masculine. And interesting, remember when I said the divine masculine's on this side, even though this is feminine energy, the left is feminine energy, and the divine feminine's on this side for my readings, even though this is the feminine energy, or this is the masculine energy. Look at how these came out. The divine feminine over here, the divine feminine rising within the masculine energy. And the more the feminine is allowed and accepted and embraced within the masculine, the more they truly step into their divine masculine power and their divine masculine essence. Same for the divine masculine. The more that the feminine really embraces and feels stable within her own inner masculine, the more she's able to really feel into her own feminine energy because she's safe to do so. And so what's happening here is really beautiful because this is both of you honoring each other, recognizing each other as one. And what I love about this chivalry card is it's like the Knight of Cups. It's like coming towards each other with this emotion, with this love, and doing things a little bit differently than in the past. Doing things chivalrously, not in like a Lothario kind of way, not in like a distorted way, not in a player way, but this is respect. This is honoring. This is cherishing one another and acknowledging one another in that respect. All right. This is really, really beautiful energy. We're going to end with this. Just can't believe these cards came out. This is beautiful. We're going to end with this, and we will be back with going more into the physical human experience of the masculine and the feminine energies with some Sacred Union mini readings. So make sure that you're staying tuned for that, and make sure you are following the Sacred Channelings on Susan Dawn Ascension connections, as well as my Instagram, especially for other updates. All right, I'm sending you all so much love, so much light, and we'll see you soon. Bye.